Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Upstate Bets and DFS. I'm Riaz. I'm here with my partner, Dale. Back here on a six-game slate for NBA. If you're new to Prize Picks, Prize Picks is an awesome app. There's no sharks. You play against the house. We have a promo code. Use Upstate Bets and get $100 deposit match up to $100. Uh, really unfortunate night last night. Wendell Carter being hurt. Middleton not playing, which was really unfortunate, but we went 2 for 1. Wasn't bad, but we're back here tonight. Unbelievable slate, and Dale's going to start off with points.
Yeah, how do you guys like that? Throwing you off because NBA's been throwing us off today. I mean, so many people inactive, so many things to just kind of wait on and see how the night goes. There's a lot of people who are questionable. So we were like, NBA's throwing us off. We'll throw you guys off. Riyad's is going to start us off with that intro. So, yeah, I hope you guys like that one. But regardless, I'm going to go for a couple weird picks because it's just going to be a weird day here. And there's also some NFL tonight. There's also, the whole WWE slash boxing match between Jake Paul and Tyron Woodley. They're doing a promotional for that as well, too. So, either way, my kind of weird pick for the day so far is gonna be Blake Griffin, at 13 and a half. Had a really good game against Philly. We've seen what he did, back in Detroit when he was kind of like the main guy in the offense. You got no Durant, no Harden today. No Aldridge either. So people across the board kind of just listed out here. We'll kind of see how things keep going. I mean, out of nowhere, someone can just become active. But either way, for now, the way everything stands, I like Blake Griffin here. Played really well. Shot double-digit shot attempts last game. You like to see that. He's not the player he once was, but easily can go out there and give you 20 tonight, in my opinion. So I don't mind this pick at all.
Even on the Orlando side, with Wendell Carter Jr. getting banged up last night, we're not sure if he's going to be active. Even Cole Anthony was ruled out last night. We're not sure if he's out. Mobamba is still out. So this is going to be a weird game. And Blake Griffin definitely being one of the better players, definitely in this game. I can see him go out there and drop another 17 like he did last night. The guy I like tonight is kind of a weird pick, but Spencer Dinwiddie, 11 and a half. That just seems way too low. We know Spencer Dinwiddie really hasn't performed like we would have thought so far this year, but uh, Utah just came off a pretty kind of demoralizing loss against the Spurs. They were kind of beating up on them for a while, and they ended up losing at the end with 10, 11 seconds left. But the one thing I did notice watching that game was Utah gave up a lot of threes. I mean, it seemed like Ken Johnson went 4 for 5. A bunch of guys just lit it up from three, and that's what Spencer Dinwiddie is really going to do in this game. We haven't really seen it so far this year, only shooting 33% from three and under 40% from the field, but 11 and a half just seems way too low. We know Bradley Beal's been getting the assists going, so I can definitely see him feeding off Bradley Beal, just really getting this offense working here. So I like Spencer Dinwiddie over 11 and a half.
I mean, at 11 and a half, it's not like the shot attempts aren't there. I mean, sometimes he does go out and play like sub 30 minutes, which isn't great, but he should get some decent run tonight, I think. And like I said, it's like he still can shoot 4 or 5 threes tonight, and he can hit those. It's not like he's going out there shooting a couple shots. Like he shoots enough shots volume wise to get here at 11 and a half. It's just a matter if he's been hitting them. So I want a good game out of Dinwiddie. This was a good addition to the team in the offseason. Just haven't got him going. I just don't understand why. I mean, sometimes when Bradley Beal's listed out, he flourishes. But Washington hasn't looked good lately. So hopefully these two can get something going and win some, get a nice win streak going. And like you said, Utah's coming off a tough loss. So and also Donovan Mitchell is questionable too. So we'll kind of see if he gets ruled out. I mean, I guess he's dealing with like kind of a stomach issue. That could open up some opportunities too for Washington to keep this game super competitive. In the rebounds category, it's tough too because there's not much here. With people being like listed out and there's still people kind of coming around. Is there anyone that you like here, Riaz?
Yeah, I like Robert Williams. His line's sitting at 9.5 going against New York. A lot of injuries for this Boston team with Big Al being out. We saw him grab 11 boards last night against Golden State. which is a pretty favorable matchup. But I think he's got the same favorable matchup here against New York. We've seen so far this year when Williams has gotten the 30 plus minutes. He's hit over this line every single time. So he's in a great spot here. I can see him playing another 30, 35 minutes. And at 9.5, we know Robert Williams goes out and just his usage on the board. I mean, he's just a monster guy, and he's just gonna go out there and do what he does. He doesn't score many points, but really he just grabs boards and causes a lot of chaos down low, and that's exactly what he's gonna do. So 9.5, uh, I see him going over that.
Yeah, I mean we've seen it time after time this season when he gets over 30 minutes, a good amount of run when there's injuries in the front court. He plays really well. So, people might be scared of this line looking at the game log, but realistically, with Al Horford being out, you got to just run with it and look at the times when Horford was out and he played really well. So I like him in the spot against the Knicks here. We haven't really been on Robert Williams much this season, but I think he looks solid tonight. And then, I was debating on going to Scottie Barnes here between him and Siakam, but Scottie Barnes, he played really well in that game against Brooklyn, and Brooklyn's dealing with a lot of guys. This game could blow out realistically. I mean, I know Toronto hasn't looked perfect this season, but this game realistically could blow out. But I think if you want to go to one of these Toronto guys, seeing how banged up Brooklyn is, I think Barnes is the safest. I mean, he's the type of guy that, blowout or not, will still give you 30, 32 minutes of run. And even if Siakam's getting boards, it doesn't mean Barnes can't either. I mean, they've both grabbed double-digit boards in the same game, and I think Barnes has a higher ceiling in terms of rebounding for Siakam. Siakam seems pretty safe, like he stays around that 5 to 8 range. But Barnes is a guy that can go out there and he can give you this in the first half. So I just wanted to mention him. And when we go over to assists, this isn't a weird pick. This is a pick that we've been on quite a bit this season. It's dropped, and I feel pretty safe taking it here tonight going against Utah. Bradley Beal at 4.5. 4 out of the last 5 he's hit this. And we've seen a ceiling of him hitting 10, 11 so far this season, especially here against Denver. That was a slower pace game, but I think this game is also going to stay a lot slower pace. I think this favors him in this matchup of going against Utah. And I think even if Mitchell plays or if he doesn't, I think it's still a good opportunity for him to get over 4.5.
Four and a half is just it's just such a comfortable line for assists here. We haven't really seen him take over and have a monster assist game. I mean, he is averaging six, just about six on the season, but he had 10 3 games ago. That was the only time he reached double digits. But just him stringing it kind of seems to me that they're kind of getting the feeling that Bradley Beal has to run this offense. He's the veteran guy on this team. He's been here forever now, so he kind of knows what's going on. And at 4.5 against this Utah team, we saw Dejounte Murray start off really slow last night and really just end up smashing and having 11 assists. So I don't know if Bradley Beal's going to get to 11, but I can see him having 7 or 8 tonight pretty easily.
For sure, yeah. And just like I said, I mean, he should be running the offense. I feel like they play a lot better when he's running the show out there. And then in terms of 3 pointers made, they just threw I fuck up his name every single time. Wagner, I'm just gonna call him from now on. But they just threw him up. I think Randall here just looks too high to me. I mean, 2.5. I know he's been shooting a lot of them lately, and he's been hitting a lot of them, but 2.5 seems pretty high. And then Wagner, I mean, we'll see the Cole Anthony news if he officially gets listed out. Wagner looks really good as well. So, any of these 4 guys that you feel comfortable taking?
I don't feel comfortable taking really any of them. I don't mind the Randall under 2.5. Really does seem like a lot, even though he did make 3 against Houston, 5 against Golden State. But Boston is definitely just a much tougher team to face, especially because they are almost the healthiest team on this slate. They're getting Jaylen Brown back. We know Tatum's been playing well. Al's out, but Williams is just as good. So definitely a tough matchup for him. And then Wagner, last 2 games he's had 0, but before that he hit 2 straight. So 1.5 definitely the most comfortable there. And even Pope, I don't really mind getting him at 1.5 just because what we saw with the Spurs last night, they were taking advantage from the 3-point line. So probably Pope is probably the safest out of these 4.
Yeah, I agree too. I mean, Wagner doesn't shoot a lot of them. He did have a really good game last time. Doesn't shoot a lot. And Tatum's the type of guy. I mean, he can get there night in, night out, but just three. I mean, if it was at 2.5, I'd take a look at it more. But in terms of fantasy score, this is where stuff opens right up. A couple guys, obviously, they got the. I hate the Steve Nash rotation. I mean, between like David Duke, Kessler Edwards, Blake Griffin, Patty Mills. I mean, it's just who's going to get the run. There could be some guy that they're just going to, randomly dust off and throw out there, and he's just going to play 40 minutes tonight. We'll see what happens. But I think Griffin in points looks good. But I'm going to go to Chuma Okiki here for the Orlando Magic, especially with all the injuries here. I do believe Carter is going to say he's listed as questionable on a lot of different sites. I'm not sure if he's officially listed out anywhere yet, but we'll monitor that. With Wendell, doesn't look as good. Also, Mobamba is listed as questionable right now, too, but I mean, he just went off last game when they played, and especially with Brooklyn being all banged up. I mean, Okiki shot double-digit shots. I mean, he shoots the ball from deep, 4 for 8 from deep. He was getting assists. He had over five. He had like 5 steals last game. I mean, he's a guy that's kind of all over the place. He looks really good tonight. I think fantasy score is really safe for him.
Just the performance he had last night with 18 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, 6 steals or 4 steals or something like that. It was just incredible. Not the best matchup in Cleve. No, no, hold on. Oh no, my bad. They're playing Brooklyn. Definitely a great matchup considering all the people that are out for that Brooklyn Nets team. So definitely too low after dropping 54 fantasy score. The guy that I'm on is Jrue Holiday. His line's sitting at 38, back-to-back games over 50 fantasy score. He's just been absolutely smashing. I mean, he's gotten over 25 actual points the past 2 games. We even saw against the Pacers, he had 14 assists. He had 40 last night with 5 and 5, which is just awesome. Not sure if Middleton's going to be playing. We know Bobby Portis is out. We know Giannis is still out. All in the protocol. So this line is way too low at 38. Definitely a decent matchup against Cleveland. There's really no one I can really see them putting on Holiday where he just doesn't go off again. And even with everybody, the last time they played Cleveland, he had 27 and 8. So unbelievable. He just seems to know what's going on against Cleveland. And to even touch on the Golden State team, I mean, there's nobody playing tonight. Wiggins is out, Draymond Green is out, Steph Curry is out. You can almost just take a stab at any of these guys. They're all probably going to see right around 30 minutes. So with them, none of them really being over 30, I don't really mind any of them.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about it a little bit before. I mean, Belisha, like he looks pretty good. I mean, when he gets the run, even back when he was in Sacramento, he had some really good like 50-point fantasy, like 50 fantasy score type games. JTA don't really want to go there really. Gary Payton the second, awesome defender. Um, you're kind of relying on some steals there to get you there. He's not really gonna give you much scoring output. Damian Lee's a guy that can shoot the ball from deep. Can probably add a couple steals. I think he's the kind of the more do it all kind of guy, and I think he has the highest floor in terms of scoring. I think he can go out there and give you like 15, 20 points tonight, just shooting the ball. So I like him, Damian Lee. Love the Jrue Holiday pick as well. He's been smashing. Unfortunately, we don't have any Cleveland lines, man. We got Lowry Markin sitting here by his lonesome on the fantasy score. Nowhere else really. Got no Garland assists right now. No Jared Allen rebounds. So things are going to be popping out. And in the beginning, we usually say we have a free Discord. So if you made it this far, we do have a free Discord in the description, so you can hop in there and we'll kind of talk some things as people get listed out. And we're like 20 subs away, man, from 1,000. And this has been amazing. I can't thank you guys enough for getting us this far. Let's push it. Let's keep going. We're trying to get there before the end of the year. And thank you guys, and we'll catch you on the next one. Peace.